wing. Austin O'Rourke shielding wide around Lockren. Final 14. O'Rourke waiting. Pulls in the backhand. Goes back door to York. Oh! Scores! York! The overtime winner of the Brahmas! Steal a point. Corpus Christi. What a play by O'Rourke. Coming down the right wall. Goes behind the net. Protecting the puck. Turns back. Takes their nice soft pass.
Welcome back to Inside the Bullpen. Nick Merrick, Chad Seward, Megan Kim, and a special guest for us today. We have Brahmas forward Austin O'Rourke with us on this episode of the podcast. Rourke, it's glad you have 10 seconds away from the ice to come join us here.
Yeah, it feels real good to be up here and not down there right now.
We stole him a little bit before some yoga time, so guys are getting ready for another big week in Brahmaland. Finally, a couple of stretch of home games here. Just right off the bat, before we get into the rapid fire later on in the segment, Austin, is it nice to be home for once?
Yeah, it's nice to be able to be in bed before 4 a.m. on a Saturday night. Being on that bus for as long as we are.
And a couple family members in town this weekend too. Huh?
I did. I had my mom and my girlfriend in town, and it was good to see some family.
I think that's always what's good about the holiday seasons in Brahmaland is seeing how many family members get to make their trek over and check out some games. I know Megan and I have been circling this stretch for quite a while, being like, boy, this is 12 games on the road. That's a fifth of the season. People don't, I don't even think of things in percentage-wise, but you're like, 12 games, that's a lot. Then you're like, wow, we are a quarter of the way through the season almost. I guess 1/5 technically. Jesus, mathematician over here. Yeah, 20%, yeah. That's why I'm behind the mic and not fixing buildings and stuff. But
that's a good point, Nick. That's a great point that you have. You are full of great points. Another great point is a new sponsor for today's show. We have a new sponsor, Nick, Megan, Austin. Ferdinand, coming December 15th to a theater near you. Ferdinand is a Spanish fighting bull who prefers flowers to violence. When disaster strikes, he must decide whether fighting or flowers will earn his freedom. Starring John Cena, Kate McKinnon, David Tennant, Peyton Manning, and many more. Yes, Peyton Manning, not just doing Papa John's commercials. He has now broadened his horizons to Ferdinand, coming to a theater near you. Good movie. I think we should all check it out. Maybe a team function.
Team movie night.
Team movie night. Okay, quick, before we get into a few quick front office notes. Lots of email over the weekend came my way, which is always fun. Heat in the arena. It was hot as balls in there. That's how we would say it here. And I know Austin. I've skated on that rink many, many times. If it was as hot as it was this weekend, I would not even wear shoulder pads. I would risk a major injury because it's so hot in there. Is it not just ridiculously hot on the ice?
It's so hot, and then your visor fogs up.
Yep.
And there is nothing worse. I am not joking. Having to have a towel every time you come off the ice just to clean off your visor is I asked if I could take it off, and obviously I got told no, but that came across my mind. I was like, I don't need this anymore.
Well, so a lot of people are complaining. The reason is our dehumidifier it's on the fritz. We're going to get a new one. We've had a repair crew up there every single day to work on it, but we're going to get a new one. That's a major piece of equipment. It's what keeps the fog out of the arena. It's what keeps the temperature down. So we're working on getting a new one and keeping this one operational. And this weekend, just the temperature outside and with the humidity level outside, it created a perfect storm for hot as balls in the arena. Basketballs, I do mean, if you're wondering. Also, another fun hit is new items in the store. Did you have to go to the store, Megan, and see those new items?
I did see them. I was pretty impressed. I really like the 8-bit one.
Yeah, we like that one.
Shirt. Yeah, that one's probably my favorite. I haven't bought one yet, but I will eventually. I promise.
Wow. Well, you better get them while they're still in stock, because when these styles go out, we'll probably put something new in there. And a lot of people have asked long sleeve T-shirts, hoodies, all this stuff. It's on the way. We're just a little bit behind getting stuff in this year. Another comment was music. I will not say what some fans said about the music on opening night. Rhymes with fog spit was referenced a few times. It wasn't loud enough. It was too loud. The goal song was terrible. The music choice was terrible. We get it. It was a DJ who had been with us years in the past and hadn't been out in a while, so he was a little rusty. He had been retired for 3 years. It was a little rusty. It got a little better the next night, but there is a plan in motion to hire a very well-known DJ, actually. We're working on negotiating with. When we're done with this meeting, we'll be negotiating more, and hopefully we can bring that to fruition. And no, it's not me.
I know I was going to say DJ Chad comes back.
No, it's not me. It's not me at all. But I'm happy to jump in there whenever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then the final front office item that we need to talk about is nameplates. Okay, so half the team didn't have nameplates. And it looked a little funny. I was referred to. Someone said, "When did y'all become the Wichita Falls Wildcats?" Which a shot at their organization, who most of the team did not have nameplates for most of the season.
We have 3 guys on that team on our
This is true. Maybe their mojo came over with them. So many player changes on the team. It's been hard to keep up with the nameplate scene, and there's a bit of a miscommunication between our jersey company and equipment room, and long story longer, it's all going to be rectified, and you'll be able to know who the boys are. They'll have the correct nameplates on, unlike Meet the Team night. You'll have the correct nameplates on, so you'll know. O'Rourke is a returner, so you don't have to worry about that.
I was going to say, at least the guy in the building here today doesn't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about him. We don't have, like, Siebowitz on the back of his jersey or anything crazy like that. He's been number 10 from the get-go, and did not change his number in the off season.
No. I kept it. I didn't. I wanted to take Jules as 20, but Julian did not budge, and then I did not want to take John Zimmerman's 21. But Adamo didn't seem to care and just decided that that's what he's going to do. So, in true European form, taking John Zimmerman's number.
It's command and conquer, I believe, for Adamo. All right, so that's all the front office talk. Nikki, what do you got?
No, I guess I'm glad those were addressed. Hopefully fans can understand through week 1 for us in Brahmaland. I think it's on the rise. At least the good point is it's the early season woes, or I guess early home season woes. Sorry about that. No, I think for this week, too, with O'Rourke and the troops ready to come back, I was going to make a jab there. Not even a jab, but a tease and be like, oh, you didn't want to budge on well, you wanted to go to 20, but Julian wouldn't budge, and then 21. Me and Megan were like, damn, somebody's got to wear 21 is going to be a captain this year, so the streak keeps going. Apparently that's like the lucky number. So
yeah, I've heard of that, actually. Zim actually told me that before he left. And I don't know. I think Adamo's got a bid for it. He's a good guy.
He captains,
French captain.
French U20 squad.
That's true.
So that kind of counts.
Good point. Kind of keeps rolling.
Semi.
We already know 10 and 20 adds up to a couple A's on the ice.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Typical Dan waiting on to just see who arises around December. Feel like, well, maybe a month we'll get our answer on that for fans who have been asking us on social media. So.
The graphic just gets more and more elaborate the longer we wait.
Exactly.
Like it just gets more elaborate.
Exactly. But hey, at least you aren't like the Corpus Christi Ice Rays running 2 captains out there and 5 A's. So.
Well, it's like Oprah. Like everybody gets an A. Like you get one. Now you get one. Now you get one. Everybody gets one. Make everybody feel good about themselves.
I want an A. I'm sitting in the broadcast booth. Maybe Dan can throw me. Oh, I got a Jonathan Taves C on me right now.
Yeah, you got one. You're good.
put my name in the hat. Just kidding. Hey, but overall, obviously, joking aside, we better get this kind of serious for the fans who actually wanted to hear Austin O'Rourke, and we're over here just stealing the show. Home opening weekend felt obviously a success. Couple sweeps, got a championship ring. Let's start with that bad boy. Pre-game ceremony. How was that? Just seeing the ring presentation and being able to put that title on your finger for finally.
Yeah, it felt good, and it was something special, right? And there was good crowd around there too, and it was loud, and felt finally good to be home, and that was a perfect way to start our little homestand here.
How many fans do you feel kind of came up to the team after the game, maybe even that night or just the weekend in general? Do you feel like it was maybe more so than usual because we haven't had a home game since literally, early September for preseason?
Yeah, I was telling some of the new guys that, Friday nights are kind of, a little less people because of, football and different things that, you got going on. And Saturday nights are usually our bigger nights. And Friday night we had a lot of people here Friday night. It was a good time. It was loud. And
shout out Chad there. Shout out Scott.
Yeah, there was one point there where I wasn't sure if my ears were ringing or if there was like an actual ring going on in there. I was like, what's going on? This isn't normal. But it was a good time.
Well, that's great. I think the front office would share our sentiment with that point too. Glad you were able to say it rather than us bozos one time. At least I'm the bozo here. Just in saying how the fans have been really supportive to start the year. So we're glad to have Brahmas hockey back. That's for sure. But now just going back, the Brahmas winning way. It's 4 in a row. We mentioned that. Trying to make it 5-6 against the Jackalopes, a team that just a few weeks ago stole a few points in Ector County Coliseum. What's it going to be like for the Brahmas this week in particular to try to keep that momentum rolling? I heard you kind of make a joke from last year's team. 4's a fluke, 5's a real deal for getting on the right path here. Do you think this Brahmas win streak is a fluke, or do you think you guys are going the right direction?
I think we're going the right direction. I think it was tough being on the road as long as we were. We didn't get as much as we had wanted on the road, and didn't really play much of a simple game, and that kind of hurt us, but we're getting back to it. I'm starting to play fast, starting to play hard, and that's kind of our style is hard and fast, and getting back to that, it's nice.
After this week, I'll stop calling them all the new kids, but just because there's been such a big turnover rate in the locker room, how do you feel that's been moving since since day one? Seeing the group that went to the showcase, now seeing the group that's a part of that small winning streak. Do you feel like it feels like there's kind of a couple of big name players, big name personalities in the locker room that have gelled well with the returning group, huh?
Yeah, it's been good. To start the year, I thought we had a pretty good group of people and guys in the locker room, and that didn't equate to wins on the ice, but the new guys have really come in and fit in well. They're a bunch of good people and good people to hang out with, and
sure.
That always helps, right? Like if you're able to hang out and have fun, and that makes playing hockey a lot easier. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'll go backwards now because this is what I was trying to allude to with that one. The first team meeting with kind of that new group was at the Dallas Stars game for the championship celebration. So was that something nice? Were you kind of a little out of your element there right off the bat? Megan and I were a little late to get to the suite. We were driving ourselves and ended up being like, all right, guys, like we got to get down there. We got a presentation in a couple minutes. Was that pretty neat to get that big of a round of applause?
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was something that I've never had or never experienced, was that many people, and everybody's looking at you, and you're just like, I don't know what's going on. Cool, I'm going to smile, I'm going to wave, nod my head, and it was cool. It was a good thing.
Well, that's cool. Shout out to the Stars for putting that together. That's a good nod to their Tarrant County hockey brothers, and Mark Frankenfeld, the league commissioner, was there. So that was good exposure for the league, and hopefully, who knows, that could translate to if the Stars hit a skid, a mid-season skid, and people get tired of it. It's happened before. People will start looking to come over to Tarrant County for hockey, especially if you guys really get on that roll, that patented Brahma 19-game win streak in mid-season. Hey, have you guys felt the absence of Wichita Falls yet? I mean, that's an easy road trip, and you're not going to make it this. Sadly, you're not going to make it this year. I mean,
yeah, I think it's one of those things that you're used to being on the bus and the fact that you're able to go there and be home before midnight almost. If you got in, got out quick enough, that was really nice. And the other thing was it was nice to play against those guys, because you could play a weekday game, and we went like 11-0 against them in the second half of the season. Like, of course we're going to miss those guys.
I mean, it's just a testament to your focus to be able to go 11-0 against those guys, because their fans were just out of control in that arena. Was that not the most insane environment to play in?
Yeah. There was that one guy with the flag.
Both of them are fantastic.
Yeah, that one guy with the flag, no joke. I think he would come here. He used to drive here.
I was going to say, low-key, I'm still waiting for him to show up. I think that was the joke in the off-season, wasn't it? He's like, I'm going to become a Brahma fan now, and somebody wanted to give him a Brahmas flag.
No, his name is Thomas, and he did buy a mini package through Scott with us this year.
Did he? He's going to come.
Brahmas
fan. Wow, all right.
He's asked about getting a Brahmas flag, so shout out to Thomas if you're out there.
Give him a flag.
I mean, you're driving like 100 miles to
get him in his own section. Like,
no doubt about it.
Give the man a flag.
Get that guy something that he deserves.
No, I mean, sadly, I think he was used to having his own section last year. I think he wants to have more fans around him. Sorry to Wichita Falls there, but no, those super fans are awesome. I think that's what. Honestly, you probably saw that the energy from the Brahmas too, and was like, "This is a fan base I can get behind." So hopefully that was the case when he went through it. But you love seeing junior hockey fans in the area. I mean, it's kind of that long running joke. You guys play hockey in Texas? Geez, I'm on year 4 and I still get that question asked by fans like, "I didn't know there was a hockey rink over there." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's NITEX. Like, it's right by Birdville." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, Birdville."
There's football there.
Yeah, that's always a great start. Yeah. That's like the best conversation starter I think I always have. I'm like, all right, cool. This is going to be a great conversation point. But it's cool because then hopefully you can educate some fans. And obviously not that Thomas needed any of that, but just like the new fans have kind of come around. And it's really neat seeing on social media side. I don't know how it is from the player perspective, but just for me and Megan, we'll whisper like, "Who's so-and-so? What? I haven't seen this person before." Because like you'll just be like tweeting, Austin O'Rourke just scored a goal, like, and then somebody's like, "Yeah, way to go, Rourke," and then we're like,
"Who are you?
Do you know this person?
Are they new?" Like, we do this all the time.
We do this all the time.
Who's this?
But it's kind of cool because it's like, is that a family member? Is that like a new fan? Like, because you want to, like, we see it too. Obviously, it's like the players get to view some social media comments. I know a good portion of them who are on Twitter enjoy seeing that. But it's neat too from the front office side because then we get a chance to see like which fans are dedicated, who comes to all the games, who follows them on the road, who tunes into hockey TV, who watches Twitter religiously, who has notifications on, yada, whatever. Like, it's cool to see that fan base. And I know they're hoping for year 2. I know Frank's hoping for year 3 in terms of Brahmas. He's going, "Yeah, these championship rings are looking good on my finger here, but what would be even better?" And I was like, "A third?" And he's like, "Darn right it is."
Yeah, he's a little too predictable with that one. I've heard that one a couple times now from Frank. It's been interesting. I think this team could get you a third, honestly. With the way things are going and the way we're leading into it. So it should be good.
So here's a trivia question, random trivia question for any fans out there who have not given up on us yet, as we're like 19 minutes in. Okay, what can we give away, Nick? What do we got? How about? Yeah, I'll set them up with glass seats to any game. Okay, here's the trivia question. So there's 4 of us in this room. Nick, Austin, Megan, myself. There are 5 championship rings in the room. 4 of them are obvious. What's the 5th one from? Email nick@nitexsports.com your answer, and we'll have it later, obviously. You know the answer.
I like that. Yeah, I know the answer to that one. Should we one up it? We gotta change it. Oh, hang on. Late change to the trivia question.
That's 6 championship rings.
So bonus points if you could name both now. I have to dig for that one.
If you've ever wondered whether this was scripted, clearly not. It's not.
Yeah,
We're off the walls completely.
But here's something: if you don't win a Brahmas prize pack off of that trivia question, you can win a Brahmas prize pack off a new application that the Brahmas introduced this week. I think the fans were, from what we're hearing, were kind of buzzing around it. I think some of the players might have been too. If you haven't heard it yet, it's called Pickett or Sideline Sports. We partnered with them this season to make a fantasy-style game for the Brahmas this year. So I would safely say at least half the crowd, hopefully more, but at least 50% of the people in the fans probably play fantasy football, fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball, fantasy hockey, some kind of fantasy NASCAR, whatever. We now have fantasy Brahmas, and what that is every home game. We're going to try to implement it on the road, but for right now, every home game, you go online, sidelinepicket.com/Brahmas. Right around 4 or 5 p.m. before each game, you get to select 3 players out of the Brahmas team that you think are going to do the best in that game. You'll accumulate points, and then the winner of each night will get a prize pack. And then for every game you enter and for every 10 points you get during the season, you will be in for a grand prize raffle at the end of the year, which will feature 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 Brahmas playoff home tickets. So pretty cool there. And I know O'Rourke racked up a couple points for some of the picks last week.
Well, you better believe I did. Come on. I'm an easy pick. I'm a pick every week for these guys. Come on. Fantasy legend over here. With playing on my line, we got 2 guys, 3 guys that got a lot of points. Play with Jules, play with Spells, so those guys can get some points too.
That's true.
Pick a line.
Pick a line.
Just throwing it out there. Our line's better than everybody else's.
Ooh, all right, there we go. Well, there you go. If you want points, O'Rourke said it best. I will throw the quick feature too. I know some of the boys are playing too. Obviously, guys, they can't win. Don't worry. We make sure the guys don't win a Brahmas prize pack. It'd be pretty funny. We can just give them a Brahmas prize pack realistically. Austin Bottrell, I think, finished second
the first
night. So there you go. Bottrell was one of the finalists. Yeah, sadly, Megan was one of those winners too. So we had to move down. Well, not sadly, but we had to move on down the line with the giveaway there. Megan was like, "Woo, I won." Then I'm like, "Megan, I'm not giving you a prize pack." So we were laughing. We're like, "You think fans are gonna be mad?" And it's like, "No, we just moving on to the next person who would have won."
We're like, "Oh, it's Bottrell."
And then we're like, "Oh, who was third? Okay, great. I'll shoot them an email." Sorry, now if that person's listening, now it's like, great. Now I feel like a jerk. Oh, great, I get a pity prize for coming in third. But hopefully it's a fun game. Sorry, that was a long sponsor pitch there, but definitely like to see that the Brahmas fans get more involved. And for January, there's a huge change in the schedule. After the Brahmas have, I think they're home 5 of the next 7 weekends before the Christmas holiday months, or right around there. Then it's time to fly to Alaska. Looks like we're going to go to old at Glover's territory.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Glover's actually on the road while we're there. We don't actually get to see Glover unless he comes during the week. Which is, if Glover's listening at any point in this, Glover, you better come see us during the week, or I'm going to be really upset.
Is he gone both weeks? Both weekends?
Well, the
one weekend we're in.
Yeah,
in Anchorage.
Yeah, or closer.
Fairbanks.
Yeah, in Fairbanks. I think he's away. We checked. I was like, oh, that sucks.
I didn't look at geography behind this, but I'd probably safely say the trip to Kenai to Fairbanks or Anchorage is pretty far.
I don't care what it is. He better be there. That's what it comes down to. You better show up. I'm here.
I mean, hey, he was a coach, right? He actually coached the
main camp. Yeah,
so he's part of the team.
Yeah, well, he lost in main camp in the final game there. I was coaching the actual other bench, and he lost. So that's another little dig at Glover. So you better show up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But I mean, obviously, just going to Alaska, I think that's going to be a welcome trip for these guys. It's something that hasn't been done ever in Brahmaland of traveling there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. I think it's one thing that I think if you play in the North American League, that's something that you want to do at least once. And I think it's just going to be a different experience, especially. I heard Fairbanks is a good place to play, like a fun place to play in.
Yeah, they've got a great built-in fan base. Speaking of Glover, his billet last year, they lived in Fairbanks for a long time, the Hansons. So they can tell you all about it, but they pack that barn. I think they average 2,500 a night. Yeah, legitimately. So that's solid.
Yeah, so I think that'll be kind of cool and kind of fun. And talking to a lot of the guys, Connor Stewart, for instance, an Arizona boy, he doesn't own a winter jacket. the guy, the coldest winter he's ever had, he said, was in Odessa last year. So with that being said, like,
we should get him a jacket.
we need to get him a
We need
jacket.
to go
I don't know the
shopping
winter
with
jacket
him.
either.
Get him a
So
jacket.
we need to get jackets at some point
So
here.
team jacket.
Yeah, the Nightcheck
shopping
Sports
trip.
Shop has a jacket feature that we can get Connor Stewart in. A nice line.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
jacket.
So, it's gonna be interesting going up there and trying all that out, and I think it's something that you don't get to do very often. I don't think there's many people, in the U.S. or anywhere that say that they've been to Alaska, and the fact that we get to do it and play hockey while doing it is pretty nice.
Well, when Stu goes to the store, just hit me up in that text, too. I might need to join him, too.
Yeah.
Spent the last 4 years in Arizona before I came here. I don't have a winter jacket either, so yikes.
It's going to be – you're going to see a bunch of kids that are underprepared.
I know.
that forgot at Christmas break when they go home to grab something, and then,
But you're good. You have your long underwear on now for the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You're ready.
I'm feeling really warm right now. This is great. I am 110% ready.
You're ready to rock. Brahmas ready to rock. Let's see, another final point we need to hit on here. What else? We got a chance to throw some rapid-fire things at O'Rourke if we need to. Do we already hit him?
I don't know. Have we?
He's ready for another sponsor read over there.
Almost. Almost. Give me a minute there, Nikki. All right, so we got Odessa this weekend. Are we going to push that streak to 6, Austin?
I hope so, because if we don't, Monday practice is not going to be a lot of fun. So just come. We need it. We need it.
And we have a caller via satellite who has some words of advice for you guys for this weekend. Go ahead, Mr. President.
Be quiet and just hit him, right? Just hit him.
Oh, thank you, Mr. President. That was President Trump calling in from his busy schedule. He's flying to Dallas now for some sort of fundraiser, but that's got to inspire you to have the President of the United States give you some solid hockey advice.
You know what's been good? I think Gibson's been... I was going to say you should ask Mr. President about how Gibson's been playing this year.
Well, let me see if I can get him back here. Megan, filibuster here for a moment. Let's see. That Air Force One phone has quite a bit of security involved. Yes, I'd like to speak to the President, please. This is the Brahmas.
Not
The
Brahms.
Lone Star Brahmas.
The cow, not the chicken.
Yeah, the cow.
Yeah.
The cow, not the chicken.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Mr. President, what do you think about Mitchell Gibson's play so far this year?
I will build a great, great wall.
Okay, thank you. And what is your? That's a good advice. What about Odessa? What do you think about Odessa?
They're losers. They're just losers.
Okay, well, thank you again, Mr. President.
Well, that was certainly something. Looks like we got a second special guest for the podcast. So love hearing that. Fans, thank you for joining us for this week of Inside the Bullpen. We appreciate it and can't wait for more Brahmas hockey this weekend. Tickets still available online, LoneStarBrahmas.com. We will see you at the Shoebox for a pre-Halloween matchup of the Brahmas and Jacks. For Austin O'Rourke, Megan Kim, Chad Seward, I'm Nick Merrick. See ya!
Ferdinand is very big.
Holy beefaroni, you're ginormous!
4 feet long. Very strong. You ready to put those wings to work? Launch.